Hi guys, welcome back to another tech video. In this video, we will talk about the hard drive. So if you're new here and haven't followed this Facebook page or subscribed to our YouTube channel, don't forget to tap the follow button on Facebook and or the subscribe button on our YouTube channel to see more MCPL content. We bring you interesting videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, breaking news. This is the last video in our What Is Tech series. Can you believe it? We've come so far. We've learned so many new things, and we've had so many questions answered. Hopefully. I know I'm kind of just like talking into the void of the internet. So I can assume that you're all as devastated as I am that the series has ended. But if you have ideas for things that you're curious about or have to ask what is, to leave me a comment and let me know in the survey. Either one. And I'll make a video about it. So, in this video, we want to answer the following questions. What is a hard drive? What is a solid state drive? And how do I find out how much storage I have on my laptop? Now, as per my usual disclaimer, this is a generalization of how storage works in your computer, but I will link some resources that you can check out in the comments if you need more in-depth information or a deeper dive on a take of hard drives, solid state drives, and other computer storage types. So, like we do each video, let's say you're looking at computers online and want to select a few to compare. So you're interested in like a Dell something or other and are narrowing down your search results with the filters on the left hand side. Now, you notice that in a section for storage, you'll see HDD, SDD, and HDD plus or slash SDD. So what the heck do those abbreviations mean? So let's start with the HDD and then go into the SDD. So HDD stands for hard disk drive. You may see it also referred to as HD, hard drive, or just storage. A hard drive is a type of storage device attached to the motherboard or can be an external option that can plug into a computer to provide extra storage by using the USB. Now, the internal version looks a bit like a record player, made up of a shiny disc called a platter, an actuator arm, and an air-sealed casing. So the platters will spin like records, while the arms will write data onto these platters with its magnetic head. Now, although it is a type of storage, a hard drive is different from RAM, as it is a type of non-volatile data storage. So if you recall in our RAM video, we said that RAM was volatile memory because it does not save your work. It is short-term memory that relies on power from the motherboard. So if the power goes out, that data is not saved. Your work is lost forever. However, if you saved your work to the hard drive before the power outage, your work was saved in long-term memory. So what all does the hard drive store? Now, hard drives can come in a wide range of sizes, with the largest being about 20 terabytes. So your hard drive needs to be big enough to hold your entire operating system, system files, software you install, files you create and save, pictures, videos you want to keep, and content that you plan to upload or download from the internet, and much more. So without a hard drive, your computer could still power on and test its hardware to make sure everything is working correctly. This is called a power on self-test or POST. It can even look up bootable files from a USB device, like a Microsoft Windows installation package, using the BIOS or Basic Input-Output System. So what it'll do during this POST test is it'll check the RAM, the network drive, the external drives, and other memory devices for files that it can start up. So without them, you'll just see a blank screen and a cursor and hear a few beeps telling you that there's nothing to load until you give the computer something to load and use it to display something. So your computer is still functional without a hard drive, but that's not quite ideal for a non-professional computer user. So modern computers these days come with a new but smaller version of a hard drive called a solid state drive. These can either come installed as a secondary disk drive in a computer that already has a hard drive, or vice versa. Or it can be installed in a computer as the only disk drive. SSDs do not have moving parts like a hard drive, so they're able to access information faster than a hard drive. They generate way less heat, they're even noiseless, and are more reliable than a hard drive. They're also more expensive for their higher storage solution, so anything over like 3 terabytes is going to cost you some money. So some new computers have solid state drives instead of hard drives. However, it's not uncommon to have both in a device, using the solid state drive for storing your operating system and some programs that you use most often, and then using the hard disk drive, either an external or internal one, for storing your documents, pictures, music, and other items of which you have a large quantity, because hard drives can provide you a lot more storage space for a cheaper price. So how does it work? We know that hard drives are storage systems for your computer, kind of like a file cabinet, holding your data where you can access it when you need it. It does this by using its disk controller, actuator, read/write arm and head, and magnetics to do so. So when you're ready to save something, your operating system has to find a non-volatile place for it to live, making it accessible even if you turn your computer off, so aka in your hard drive. Your hard drive has quite a few pieces that make it work. Depending on the size, it can have about 1 to 5 platters that are covered in a thin magnetic coating, an actuator, which is essentially the device that controls the arm, and then there's a head at the end of the arm. The head moves over the platters, writing in binary code onto the platter disk, but it doesn't actually physically touch it. There's like a thin coating on top of the platters, so that way they don't damage each other. Now, your platter is divided into billions of tiny areas that can hold a bit of data. It writes by magnetizing or demagnetizing the area to represent ones and zeros that the computer understands. It'll magnetize to store that information as a 1, or demagnetize the area to store that information as a 0. So each platter has 2 read/write heads, so that data can be written on the top and bottom of the surfaces. Now, with up to 5 disks that have billions of tiny areas on them, top and bottom, your hard drive has to have an efficient way to organize this information, or else it would never find it. So data is arranged in concentric circular paths called tracks. Think of like a track on a record. And each track is broken up into sectors. Your hard drive has a map of these sectors, knowing which ones already have been used and which are free. This map is called a file allocation table, or FAT for short. When it's time to save something new, the hard drive refers to this table to find an open sector. So when you open a file to continue working, this process happens in reverse. The read/write head moves to the correct sector on the correct track to read that information for the operating system. So how much your hard drive can hold will depend on how much storage it has left after the operating system and system files use up what it needs. Hard drives can be up to about 20 terabytes, which is perhaps kind of more of what a company would use for one of its departments rather than a regular computer user. So considering whether you use cloud storage, non-professional users like me and you these days don't need to have as much hard drive space. So if you're buying a computer with at least 500 gigabytes or up to 1 to 2 terabytes of storage, whether HDD or SDD or both, either one, 500 gigabytes to 1 to 2 terabytes of storage should be sufficient. So that's about 142,000 up to 250,000 pictures on your computer. Your operating system is going to use up about 15 to 20 gigabytes of that 500, so kind of like keep that in mind. Now, How do you find how much storage you have left on your computer? Let's check. Now on your Mac, you'll access the Apple menu in the menu bar, upper left-hand corner, and then you'll choose About This Mac, which seems to be where we go for all of our information. But instead of staying in this overview tab, you'll want to click on storage here in the little menu. And it may do some calculating before it'll give you the full breakdown of how the device is using your storage up. So you'll see right now I have 1 terabyte of flash storage. So flash storage is a type of solid state technology that uses chips instead of platters for writing and storing data. It is not the same as solid state drive. It's just one implementation of that. It's not flash like flash drive, but once it's done calculating, it'll give each section a name, and then when you hover your mouse over it, it'll tell you how much that particular category is taking up of this total number available. So about 266 gigabytes is trash, 84 gigabytes is documents, the little red 11 gigabytes is apps, and then there's 15 gigabytes, like I mentioned before, of system. So that'll be my operating system, system files, all of that stuff. So if you needed to actually kind of try to manage some of this, there is a Manage tab that you can click, which will give you some recommendations of what you can do to kind of optimize your storage, reduce your clutter, and what you want to do with the trash. And then it even gives you a breakdown even further of how much you're actually using. So my photos, music, mail, documents, it breaks that down as well. So if I clicked on documents, it'll give me a full list of everything, what it is, when I last accessed it, and what its size is. So it says I have large files. Here's all my stuff in my downloads, unsupported apps, I don't have any, containers, and then file browser. So these will be things that I can go in and get rid of. So if I needed to check music, there's 13 megabytes. I can go through and delete songs I don't listen to. Or if I need to go through here with pictures, check that out, and actually open that app and move it to trash, I'm probably not going to do that. But it lets you go through here and actually have all of this information in one place, so that way you can quickly move it to the trash and then go ahead and delete everything out of your recycle bin. So that's how you'll check and see how much storage you're taking up on your Mac. So there you go. So on your Windows 10 device, you can view information about your hardware, including the disks, using the System Information utility. So to get to that, you can either press the Windows key to pull up your Start menu and then type System Information and then press Enter, or you can use the Run box to open the System Information utility, which is where you'll press the Windows key and R, as in Robert, for the keyboard shortcut, and then type MSInfo32 and then press Enter or click OK. So in the System Information window that opens, in the left-hand pane, you'll see a list of hardware categories. You'll want to expand components, and then down toward the bottom, you'll want to expand storage, and then choose disk. So this will give you some information about the model you have, the manufacturer, the description, what the size of that particular disk is, and any other information that you need to see. Now, if you wanted to see how much space each part of your computer might be taking up, like your apps, files, system files, you'll want to open your settings from the Start menu, and then we'll choose Settings or System. And then what you'll do is between Power and Sleep, you'll choose storage to see what's taking up space, but it'll also tell you how much you have total. And so when you click on that, it'll take you to the storage usage window, which will give you a breakdown of how much each piece is taking up in your storage. And then you can decide from there whether or not you want to install certain things or go to File Explorer and start cleaning up files, removing clutter, emptying out your recycle bin, or moving things to cloud storage. So with this information, you can free up some disk space by using an external hard drive, a cloud drive storage, or cleaning up some files that you don't need. So that's what I have for you today. You're awesome for sticking with me throughout this entire series as we learn about everything from the Internet of Things to encryption to the hard drive. Thank you so much for being here, and watch out for more videos from us. Have a good day. And we want to thank you for watching. Follow us to find more videos just like this. Our page on Facebook is MCPL 360. We're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you miss us on Facebook, you'll still find these same videos on our YouTube channel at MCPL Mo. Find our Consumer Technology playlist. Have a good day.